The calendar shows June 11th, 1988, and the clock strikes exactly midnight. We are in the middle of a pitch-black desert. On the ground lies an 8.5-ton, abandoned, dead Soviet monster, the Mi-24 Hind. A leftover from the Chadian-Libyan conflict, it was the most terrifying attack helicopter of its era. American intelligence is practically going crazy to examine the armor and technology of this flying tank. But there is a very slight, tiny physical problem. How are you going to get this 8.5-ton pile of metal out of that Wadi Dum desert? Come to think of it, you can't send a truck. The enemy border is just a few kilometers away. You can't dismantle it and put it in a cargo plane. You don't have the time, and there is no runway around. After weeks of agonizing by the CIA and Pentagon bureaucracy, only one crazy option remains: stealing the helicopter with another helicopter. Wait, what? Tying one helicopter to another with a rope and flying it for 880 kilometers. I don't know which mad engineer argued this was aerodynamically possible, but America did exactly that. Behold the most mind-boggling heist in aviation history, Operation Mount Hope 3. Let's first understand what we are stealing. The Mi-25 is no ordinary helicopter. It's a flying bunker with titanium armor, capable of deflecting 12.7mm rounds. Its weight is massive, even when empty. So, what are you going to use to carry this beast? Enter the Boeing CH-47 Chinook, but not a standard Chinook. Specially modified MH-47s belonging to the US Army's most elite aviation unit, the 161st Special Operations Aviation Regiment, also known as the Night Stalkers. The math of the system is simple, but ruthless. The MH-47 has a maximum external load limit. When you lift an 8.5-ton mass off the ground, the load on the aircraft's engines, those massive turbo shafts, is incredible. The engines literally scream. Moreover, they will be doing this in the desert heat, in an environment where the air's lift capacity drops drastically. All mechanical limits are in the red. The operation begins at midnight. They reach the target with French Army Mirage fighter jets, providing air cover above them. The ground crew secures the Soviet helicopter underneath the Chinook with massive steel cables. In system terminology, this is called a sling load. The engines are running at full power. The rotors are blasting sand into the sky, and that massive mass is lifted off the ground. Did they succeed? If only it were that easy. The real nightmare begins now. Flying with another 8.5-ton helicopter swinging beneath you in the air is like dancing with a giant clock pendulum. Aerodynamically, the fuselage below creates drag against the airflow and starts to swing. As it swings, it exerts a tremendous counterforce on your flight control systems and hydraulics. One wrong maneuver will cause those steel cables to snap, or both helicopters to crash into the ground. And just as they are wrestling with this pendulum, barely making progress with mid-air refueling provided by the US Air Force in pitch darkness, the Chadian desert throws its worst surprise at them. A massive sandstorm. Visibility drops to 0 in seconds. Even the night vision goggles are useless, because they only illuminate the swirling grains of sand. Imagine you have an 8.5-ton mass swinging below you, and you can't see outside. You are completely blind. The only things you can trust are the mechanical instruments in front of you and the artificial horizon. The pilots overcome this hours-long aerodynamic torture and the sandstorm. They reach the N'Djamena base, just as their fuel gauges are about to hit rock bottom. The result of this incredible operation: that Soviet helicopter was loaded onto a massive C-5 Galaxy cargo plane and taken to the Fort Rucker base in America. The US Army turned that helicopter into a training vehicle, and used it in dogfights for years to teach Cold War tactics to American pilots. The Soviets' deadliest secret had been stolen without firing a single bullet, using pure aviation engineering and superhuman piloting. Operation Mount Hope 3 shows us this. In aviation, the impossible is achieved not by weapons, but by engineering that pushes the limits. For more mind-boggling aviation and engineering files like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in a new file. Goodbye.